Hello again, everybody. It's Harry Boxer, the technical trader at NKTR.com. It is Thursday, the 16th of November. These are the charts of the day. Well, I'm going to start off with a quick look at some of the indices and what they're doing. And you can see that today's action, and let's just scroll up a little bit here, took the indices sharply higher from the get-go. There's your gap, there's your run, and there's your pullback. Late in the day, but not very, very badly, quite orderly as a matter of fact, and muted. Looking at it on an hourly perspective, from the three-wave corrective big pullback, it exploded and has now gone from 62.25 or so up to 63.50, 125, 30 points up in that range without much of a pullback. Spectacular move. The S&P in the same time went from 25.57 all the way up to 25.90. It's about 33 points, nice move. And then we had a little late pullback at the end of the day, but on an orderly basis too. So I'm not overly concerned yet. As a matter of fact, I'm quite pleased that the declining tops line and channels that were forming on the downside were blown out to the upside. So a retest might be in order, because usually when you break out, you'll get some kind of retest. Let's go to the charts and see which stocks I picked out today to have a look at. One moment. Okay, so we're going to start out today with, oh boy, there you go. We're going to start out today with AXTI. You can see how this pattern has been a beautiful rising channel, except for the blowout in February that took it up on a stronger angle. Right now, that really is a long-term angle. Let's scroll in a little bit. You can see that over the last 6 weeks it's been wedging, but it's held support around the 8.5 level all the time. Now today, a significant day in my opinion, because it popped out of the wedge across 3 moving averages and picked up 563,000 shares, which is good volume for this stock. It's more like it right there. So you can see that volume that came in was the biggest in several weeks. Breaking out, right now I'd be looking for this stock to make a run at 970. If we get through that, we're looking at a $12 stock. This could be interesting. There's 4.8 days to cover. Semiconductor group has been strong. This one looks like one of the juniors that may pick it up and make a bit of a move. CDXC, well, this biotech stock, which had a beautiful base, breakout in coil, exploded and has run up for like something like 8 out of 9 days here. Today was a pop of 68 cents or 11.5% on 900,000. Looking at the long-term chart, you can see that this has blown through everything. This is at new all-time highs. Would not be surprised if this thing ran into the 7.5, 8.5 range short-term, maybe more. 9 days to cover short on CDXC. CNCE, another stock we've been following, and I think I showed it to you yesterday, Concert Pharmaceuticals, followed through. It's now up for 6 days in a row off the wedge. Might be a little bit short-term extended. As a matter of fact, it got up to 22 and backed off. Next target, however, is 25, and its support is around 19. There's almost 5 days to cover on this one as well. Collegium, what a spectacular move since we put a swing on it. From 10.5, the stock has gone to almost 17, and I mean fast. So a nice move up into the resistance zone and my first swing target. Second target's 20.5-ish. And if I get any kind of pullback consolidation, I'll let you know for another swing up towards the, as I said, 21 zone. 22 days to cover plus. Swing trade Cree broke out of its coil or wedge today, popped a little bit. Let's see, $1.18 to 3.3%. There's 8.5 days to cover. I think we're going to take out this recent spike high at 37.43 and run up to 40, my next target. In immediate term, secondary target, mid-40s. EXTR has been in a beautiful rising channel for over a year now, going on almost 2 years. Recent pullback and then spike back, got a retest. The retest tested the prior highs there, reversed, and ran up. Today was a really solid day as it breaks out across the declining top line here. Spiked up on 4.3 million shares for $1 or 8.5%. This one looks like it's headed towards 16, 17. HIMEX, well, this is important for HIMX. If you take a look at the long-term pattern, you'll see this is a really big resistance area with 1, 2, and now 3 peaks at this $12 range. Today's high, $11.95. Close of $11.92 up 96 cents or 8.8%. This one feels like it wants to go to 14 and then 16. Those are my targets. MindBody, been on my list for a long time, was a recent, or a former swing, I should say. And you can see how the stock has moved from the 9 range all the way up in the mid-30s. Recent action shows a big wedge today. It popped out of the wedge. I think we're going to head to 36 and 39. Those are my targets. It's 15.3 days to cover. Let's see if we can get a pop and follow through tomorrow. MRTX swing's been working out great. After it popped and pulled back, we gave you a swing on it. It's moved from under 10 to over 19 today. Beautiful move, double top breakout. Volume picked up 3 million. A 35% gain today. At this point, your next target is 25. Nektar. What a move on this stock. Maybe one of the best swings of the year because we nailed it right as it broke out. And it's run from the 24 range all the way up to 45. You don't see that too often, do you? Big move. And it's been up every day for 2 weeks. So it's due for a pullback, but we may very well at some point get to 60, 59, 60 is my next target. If it pulls back, consolidates in that zone for a week or two, we could be setting up for more. OLED, this swing trade given to you on the breakout here, ran up and then pulled back and coiled and broke out again. Right now it's near 180, with a swing target at 188 and then about, I think, closer to 215. Almost 5 days to cover on OLED. Looking pretty good in this range right here with a long-term chart top near 210.15. Overstock continues to be in play and it's a spectacular chart pattern. Moving up, consolidating, pop, pull back, retest, pop, consolidate. I really think this is a $70 stock, but my short-term target's in the low 60s and then mid-70s. 6.2 days to cover overstock. Pixelworks, well, when it popped out here, we gave you a buy on, I believe. It backed and filled and then popped again, but it didn't get to that high. I think it might this time. Keep an eye on 620.25 range because if it gets through that, we're looking at 7.25 and then 8.5. 4 days to cover on that. And Restoration Hardware has had a spectacular move from the February low when it was in the mid-20s to now mid-100s, meaning 104.81 at the close today, with a high of near 106. The top of the channel says that it may accelerate into the high one, maybe 118 or thereabout would be my target. 4.8 days to cover on that. Another Bitcoin blockchain type play is Riot. After the big spectacular surge, it took this from 4 all the way to 11. It's pulled back for a month and consolidated, but it looks like it might be ready. Today, 1.2 million traded. It was up 2.4%, but we're going to be watching carefully. 9, and then 9.5. If we get through that 9.5 zone, it's rock and roll time. We'll see. SGH, a great recent IPO in the semiconductor group with spectacular success. At this point, appears to be in a different channel. And right now, if it continues this way and it gets through the spike high we had in October, namely 38.25, we might very well see this in the high 40s to 50. Scientific Games has been a rock star all year, and you can see how it's come from the $9 range into the 50 range. This is nearly a 5-fold increase, or about 5-fold, but the move today took it out to new highs, and I'm thinking this looks like a $60 stock to me. There's 13.74 days to cover. SPPI swing trades really worked well this year. It went from about 9 all the way up into the low 20s on a drug news. And then it pulled back and consolidated, formed a coil. Well, today it broke out. In spectacular fashion, I'd like to see more volume, but it looks awfully good for a move to first 424 and then maybe 30. 11 days to cover on SPPI. Swing trade tile broke out of a wedge today. Here's your wedge. The pop was clean, $1 for 4.3%. And there is some overhead resistance here, but if it accelerates there, it appears to me that this might be a new accelerated angle. And we're looking for a move that could take this into the 26, 27 zone at least. That secondary target, yeah, 27, 7.5. USAT swing trades working. This has been up every day since I gave it to you for about now 7 or 8 days in a row, about 9 of the last 10. So you can see it's acting very well. There's 8.3 days to cover. The long-term chart says it might reach 9.5 before we get any substantial pullback, but it is extended. V-Ray broke out of a consolidation zone, spiking $1.41 or almost 18% on 2.8 million. Good volume, good technicals, breakout. I'm expecting a test of the spike high back in February that came in at 1039. That may happen as early as tomorrow. And by the way, V-Ray has 14 days to cover. Moronis, one of our old swing trades from back in May, continues to move up. After popping 2 weeks ago and then coiling, it broke out yet again today. Up 365 or 7.5%. It looks like it wants to be a $57 stock, longer term 65. And finally, XNET continues to channel up. Looks to me like the top of the channel is calling for around 20. Keep an eye on this one. The next day or two could be wild with this. And it looks pretty good. And for now, this is HB out. Have a great evening, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. TGIF.